Hey guys, so today I wanted to work through some Sun Salutation A's with you. We're going to break down each pose, give it each the breath it deserves, and then we're going to connect them and flow through them a few times. So to begin, let's start at the front of your mat, starting in a mountain pose. For mountain pose, we want to check in with our heels here, make sure that our ankles are stacked underneath our hips. Our shoulders are back, we're standing up nice and tall. Gently tuck your pelvis. It can be really tempting to just let it dip back and stand here. But check in there, make sure it's gently tucked forward, and in doing that, you'll feel your core want to start to engage. Lean into that, engage the core. Let your arms open up down by your sides. Feel your fingertips open up nice and wide. Imagine there's a string on the top of your head pulling your body up, that your feet are cemented in the earth beneath you. You take a few breaths here, getting comfortable in mountain pose. After each Sun A, we always come back to mountain pose. Take a nice deep breath here. Let's inhale, reach up. And exhale, palms touch and bring them back through your center. Check in with the pelvis, make sure it's gently tucked. Let's open up those arms again. We'll take one more standing breath, just starting to connect our breath and our movement. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms touch and come through heart center. Now let's head into our Sun A's. Inhale, reach up. This time your exhale lets you bend your knees gently, hinge at your waist, and come through a forward fold. Your hands can get heavy finding the earth. Let your head relax. Maybe you shake your head yes and no. We want to keep a nice little bend here in the knees, so feel free to let your torso rest on your thighs. It might feel nice to take a little ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows, swaying side to side. Or you might like to interlace your fingers at the nape of your neck or the back of your head, just some added weight to help gravity do its thing. Let's take a nice deep breath here. Inhale, feel your belly fill up. And exhale, let gravity pull you towards the earth. Another deep inhale. And your exhale will let your hands fall down towards the mat. Now we're gonna come into our halfway lift. Take your inhale, letting your hands come to your shins, find a flat back, maybe even gently tucking that tailbone. We wanna send it back towards the back of our mats. Check in with your shoulders here. They tend to want to come down. Lift them up and down your back. A nice straight, flat back, gazes down towards the earth. Deep breath here. Feel the top of your head reach forward and your tailbone reach back. Your exhale brings your hands down to the mat. Now this is a long exhale in a traditional vinyasa. So take that long exhale, stepping back with your legs coming into your high plank. Now, always feel free to modify here, especially if you're just getting started in vinyasa. I still modify my vinyasas all the time. So feel free to bring your knees down, check in with your wrists here, make sure they're stacked underneath your shoulders. And then we're gonna come in for what's called a chaturanga. So you wanna gently shift forward, lower down about 90 degrees, so your elbows are coming to like a 90-degree bend. Gaze is still down towards the mat, engaging through the core here, pushing the earth away with your fingertips. Your hands are kind of acting like suction cups here. Like the inside of our hands isn't really even on the mat, just the tops of our fingers and the balls of our hands. So we're really pushing the earth away with those parts, and then we lower down all the way through, coming into the back bend of your choice. You're gonna have two options here. So you can come into Cobra, which is where we usually start. Your legs will be together, feet are together, elbows in towards your body. Hands are underneath your shoulders, but we're gonna use little to no weight in the hands here. Most of this action is coming from our back muscles. So on your inhale, lift up, peeling your chest up off the mat. Send your shoulders back, gaze forward. Take a nice deep breath up here. Little to no weight in the hands. Maybe even you float your fingertips. Your back muscles are doing all the work here. And your exhale brings you back down. And now we're going to push up to downward dog. There's a couple options here. You can tuck your toes and then come to your knees, come into a gentle tabletop, and then send your hips high. Or you can challenge yourself if you're looking for that today and push right on up into your high plank and then into your downward facing dog. Now for downward dog, this is a common pose, but that means it's just commonly messed up, right? So we want to check in here. We want to look like an upside down V when we're settled in. However, the goal here is to get the hips nice and high, the spine nice and straight. It doesn't really matter if our legs are straight and our heels are going on the mat. Yes, we want the heels to be going towards the earth, but we're not really concerned if they touch or not. So feel free to keep a nice little gentle bend in those knees so that you can get your hips just a tad higher, finding some more length in that spine. Let your head hang heavy here. Push the earth away with your hands. Find strength in your shoulders, pushing out of your sockets, not dumping into them. Make sure you're pushing the earth away. Feel long in your arms, in your legs, in your spine. Let's take a nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Anytime you're in downward dog, you can feel free to do what's called walking the dog, meaning alternating, bending one knee and then the other. And this is just going to help you stretch your hamstrings a little bit. On your next inhale, gaze forward and take the smallest steps that you can and make your way to the front of the mat. And meet me in another forward fold. You can make this one like the first one, where we're keeping it nice and easy, bending the knees, letting the torso rest on the thighs. But if you really want to feel some more in the backs of your legs, you can try to straighten your legs, maybe keeping your hands on your ankles. Let's stay here for another breath, no matter what you've chosen. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, we'll slowly rise up. Let's take this one nice and slow, rolling up. Be sure to keep a bend in your knees, giving you a nice stable base as you come up. And your head is the last thing to rise. So that's the breakdown of our Sun Salutation A. We're gonna do it again. Put it all together, maybe flow a little faster. 2 more times. Only if it serves you. You can always go back and do the beginning if you want a little bit more clarification. So, let's flow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Come to that flat back, shoulders down your back. Exhale, long exhale this time, palms touch. Step back for your high plank. You can feel free to modify here, bringing your knees down, but if you'd like to stay in high plank, stay lifted, send your heels to the back of the room. We want to find a bit of a rounding in the shoulders here already. Find that gentle tuck of the pelvis, engage through the core, gazes down at the mat, and then if you'd like to come in for a chaturanga, gently shift forward. We want to be careful that we add in that step. Lower down through 90 degrees, come up into your back bend. We did cobra before. This time you can take up dog if you'd like, just your hands and the tops of your feet on the mat. You want to pull the chest through, floating the hips. Maybe we take a little sway here. And then your next inhale sends those hips nice and high, downward facing dog. Find your stance here, find length in the arms. Sending your hips nice and high. Heels are going towards the mat, but it doesn't matter if they touch. What's more important is to find that length, so have a little bend in those knees if it serves you. Inhale and exhale. Let's all gaze forward. Maybe you widen those steps this time, still meeting in forward fold, but let's make our way there. Then we'll inhale again to another halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise up. This time, feel free to try a reverse swan dive, meaning still take that bend in your knees, but we come up with a nice flat back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, palms touch, come to heart center, and open back up to that mountain pose. Beautiful job, guys. Let's do it one more time. Feel heart rate getting up a little bit. See why it's called a sun salutation? We're building that heat, getting nice and warm. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms touch, come through center, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Find that flat back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Long exhale here, stepping back to that high plank. Maybe you modify. No matter what you've chosen, let's all shift forward, lower down, and then come into your back bend of choice. Maybe you're ready for up dog. Maybe you want to go back to that cobra. Hands are still underneath your shoulders, elbows are in, peeling up. And no matter what you've chosen, we will all come to downward facing dog. Let's take a nice deep breath here. Another one, inhale, hips high. Exhale, push the earth away. And your next inhale, gaze forward. Maybe this time you just take one big step and meet me in that forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, however serves you. Exhale, brings your palms through heart center, opening up mountain pose. Beautiful Sun A's. I am so grateful that you decided to practice today, and I hope that I'll see you again soon. If you have any questions, comments, or videos that you would like to see, feel free to let me know. Bye.